Okay, welcome back everyone to Aces Full of Queens, the podcast all about the Las Vegas Aces, among others. I'm one of your hosts, Crystal,
I'm Anthony.
and we are cousins. And this is a Curry Connor production, as always. So, predominantly, we're going to be talking about the Aces and whoever the team is that they're playing. Now, this week we actually had 3 games. So we'll give you some highlights of the first 2. And then last night we played the Portland Fire. And it actually was a fire game, I would say. And we'll get a little bit more detailed into that game. So we'll also introduce a couple of extra little tidbits for our show: Queen of the Court, Pocket Aces, Bad Beat, and Next Hand. And I'll let you know what all those mean at the time, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out based on the title of our podcast and the cards on display, obviously. So, what'd you think of the games this week? We were at a couple. You were at a couple.
Yeah,
I showed up to one.
showed up as that's generous. Crystal, she couldn't be bothered with the Aces for the first 3 quarters of the game against the Storm. She was out there watching that Knicks Spurs game. So,
As one does.
as one does. But
I was in the building though.
yeah, I'm texting her. I'm like, "Yo, where you at?" And she's like, "I'm still at the bar watching this game."
Yeah.
I'll get to that game. When did you eventually come in? Third quarter or quarter?
It was like fourth quarter. But you know what I feel like? These WNBA games we won quick. Like the quarters aren't as long, are they?
No, the
They're
10
not
is
as long.
on 12.
So there's that. Also, the Knicks were killing. Okay, they were like down for a while. Oh, this was the game they lost, actually. This was game 3.
Yeah.
So I walked away when there was like 3 minutes left.
Yeah, but your social media made it look like you were at the Aces game the whole time. But I saw the picture and I saw stuff like, what?
It did, as it should. Okay. It was Pride night that night.
I didn't even do it, so I got all the facts.
It was great. It was. I think we still won. We won all these games, you guys.
Yep, 3-0 with Commissioner stuff. I like that.
We love it. And so let me get my notes out here because I'm a note taker. Now, I will say the first game was against the Valkyries.
Right.
Great game. It was lively. It was full of action. I think I was supposed to go to this game. That was the Saturday day game.
Yeah.
But things happen. So, but Wanda Sykes was in the building. Spinderella was up in there.
Cinderella was there.
And we played. Yes, she was pushing. And we played against our former Kia Stokes
Yeah.
champion.
Yeah.
Who's down in the Valkyries. This was the first win at home.
There we go.
I mean, we were down, guys. We were not doing well at home, and things have turned around for us.
We like that. We like winning above all else. Was that the first one at home?
Yeah, that was the first one back at home for this Commissioner's Cup, right?
Yeah.
So Asia got 20 points in the first half. She had a double-double. Then Valkyries was all over her.
They were.
There was one point that there was like 4 of them. And she still got
versus the world.
That really is what it is. Jackie Young, she made some history. She got the most made threes in history that night. And she also twisted her ankle. But she came back.
Yeah, she got up from injury, came back, really contributed. She was 6 of 8 from 3-point in that game. Ended up with 27 points to go with Ada's 28 points in the game, which is big. Talk about record breaking where we talk about breaking the 3-point record in here in a couple of minutes.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, the Aces in that game, they looked good. The Valkyries are one of the best defensive teams in the WNBA, and they're not frequently giving up, more than 80 points. Aces came out, they scored 84 points. Asia 28 points, 14 rebounds. Chelsea had 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Jaffe had 27 points and 5 and 5. So, real good contribution from the starters. But I think this is the first point in this conversation where I'm going to start flagging the thing that I'm very concerned about for the Aces going forward. And you'll see it across the board in the 3 games that we talked about this.
Okay.
So, 84 points.
Mm-hmm.
In that game, the Aces got 5 points off the bench.
Okay.
5 points. Jewel Lloyd had 5 points in 28 minutes.
Whoa. Okay.
Now Turner had 0 points.
Okay.
Kirsten Bell had 0 points. We'll make 5 points off the bench. And so what's happening with the Aces, we see it in this game. We'll see it in this game against the Storm. We'll see it in the game that we talked about from last night against the Fire.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting a lot of bench production.
Okay.
And so when their stars are playing, nobody's better.
Right. It's a 3-headed monster.
But if there's ever a game where that falls off, where is this extra production coming from? Now, to be fair, in the game against the Valkyries and the game against the Storm, they're shorthanded. Dana Evans is still not back yet. Kennedy Carter was out for both of those games. She came back last night.
Yes.
Which I could tell a little bit in her play, like whatever injury she has is still lingering and still causing her to not be able to be that spark off the branch that we're so used to seeing. And so that's something I have concern.
That's a concern.
The eye on. And when we start talking about what's coming up, they're playing the team with the best record in the league. The team that they're tied with in the Western Conference and the Commissioner Cup standings, the Minnesota Lynx. And so the Minnesota Lynx, this is a well-rounded team, and we'll talk about them when you get there. But
they're number 1.
Yeah, I think that we have I had a lot of concerns about if we're not getting bench production, what happens to the Aces and their ability to win these games.
Okay, that's fair. That is a fair argument. That is a fair concern, because if somebody gets hurt, our 3-legged monster here, our 3-headed monster, then that's going to cause a huge deficit, I think, in our winning. So fair.
Yeah.
Fair. This last thing I'll say on this game, it was 84-79. Chelsea also got the most assists in franchise history over Becky.
I wonder if she feels the same way as Asia. If you see a Becky record, give me that.
Give me that. I like that attitude. Okay, so great game with the Valkyries. Sorry you lost. So next game, Seattle Storm. This was Monday night. Yes. And it was Pride Night. And it was at home. It was a beautiful game. The Knicks were playing, but they lost. We ain't gonna talk about why. We ain't gonna talk about that. It's like it didn't happen.
Look, they got the greatest comeback in NBA history, NBA Finals history.
The next day. You're right. The next game was amazing. Okay, sorry. Back to Seattle Storm and the Aces. Okay, so it was Pride Night. This was another amazing night for Jackie Young. 29 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Nalissa Smith was killing it. You don't have a lot to say about her.
16-9.
She is really stepping up. She is really proving herself. She's really out here killing it, in my opinion.
Right. And so, just not to be like I'm beating a dead horse, but this is something I'm going to be on this podcast. So let's look at this game. We get 3 points from Stephanie Talbot, 16 points from Alyssa Smith, 34 points from Asia Wilson, 12 points from Chelsea Gray, 29 points from Jackie Young, 7 bench points.
Okay.
Jewel Lloyd played 28 minutes, had 5 points. Kirsten Bell played 8 minutes, had 2 points. And so the depth.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is the thing. I don't want to be a hater, but I guess we might need to add another, maybe weakest link. I feel like even in the next game, Jewel Lloyd, she isn't necessarily doing her best, but she is coming out of an injury. I can't remember exactly what her injury was.
Leg injury.
Okay, it was a leg injury.
Dana and Kennedy all
right. Kennedy, they said it was a hip, so maybe it was the top of her leg.
Oh,
fair enough. She was shooting around and she still looked good, but 7 points off the bench is not good.
Right.
So what you're basically saying is that if the bench was more, if they were scoring more points, it would just be easier to win.
Yeah. So like you have more
Then Asia can sit down and take a rest.
Yeah, you have more margin for error. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago. If you look at the starting lineup in the minutes played, Jeffy played 34 minutes, Chelsea played 35 minutes, Asia played 36 minutes. That's a lot of minutes that it's going to accumulate over the course of this year and hopefully the course of the playoffs. And so, that's the kind of
Some time on the knees, on that
if you hit to me the injury. And, not to be a hater, but like they played the Seattle Storm. Storm how Uppett injured coming back. The Seattle Storm, I think, at the start of that game was 3-10. I won 3 games, you lost 10 games. This is not a team that like should be pushing the defended champions the way they were. And like eventually the Aces were able to like come win the game by 10 points. But there were points in that game where it was like really close.
Right.
And it seemed like it might not go that way. And so you look at the Storm, they got. I'm doing quick math on the fly now. They got 26 points off of their bench, to 7 points versus our bench, and like it's not apples to apples. Like different skill sets, different players, the whole 9 yards. But what I'm saying is that like if Asia shows up and plays the way she played in that game, she had 34 points and 12 rebounds. Chelsea shows up the way that we know she can play. Jackie shows up the way she can play. They're going to win a ton of games. But if you ever have a game where one of those players is off, where is that extra production coming from to keep you competitive, keep them in the game?
And see, we were relying on Kennedy Carter. She was kind of our sixth man. I still think she's eligible for that. I think we've got time, and I think she will make a comeback. But you're right, and I feel that we probably shouldn't take for granted these wins and our 3-headed monster. I mean, we have to give them a work. We have to give them minutes to sit, to rest, to catch their breath. I mean, they love to play, and it's not nobody disputes that. But
and like we're not saying anything that like the coaches said.
No, right.
So when you look at the game last night against the Fire, I think in the third quarter, a minute 23 seconds or something like that, Becky pulls Asia out of the game. Looks the rest of that quarter break before like bringing her back. You have to manage this stuff,
Right.
And I know this is my hobby horse for this podcast because we'll see in the next game like the bench production. It's just one of those things that you see and you ask yourself, how long does that sustain?
Is it sustainable? Yeah. And it was still a career high, still a record-breaking game for these players. Asia also reached 6,000 career points, and she did it like the fastest the whole time.
Yeah, she's the youngest player, fastest to get to 6,000 points.
And then the 7th most career blocks in WNBA history.
There we go.
So we still are breaking records. I mean, it feels like that would have happened even if they had lost. I feel like they still would have broke these records.
Yeah, she scored as long as she scored the amount of points, they still could have done that even in a loss. It's much better for her to break the record and to win. I think I was there a building when she broke the 5,000, when she got to 5,000 points, and they won. And so that's the Asia breaks the record, Aces win. I'm in the building. I think that's the trifecta that is Nelly the real. It said something to you.
Yes, you're right. But the support, us being there, we get good energy. And so we move on to Portland Fire. So I just watched this game. I had a bit of a meltdown this morning, and I'll tell you why. Okay? What's happening?
Get prepared, y'all.
What's happening out here is just, it's blasphemy. Like, once upon a time, we were a civilized society. You just turned on the television and you watched the game. And if you missed it, you missed it, right? And then we got to this place where we got like DVRs and video recorders and things like that. And you still could just turn on your tube. And now, I can't even turn on my tube. I pay for YouTube TV. I don't feel the need to pay for League Pass because I see most of the League Pass games. But then there's every now and then that it's League Pass and it's blacked out on everybody else. DirecTV, do not get me started. And so I just feel like we are uncivilized. And now it's all about profit. It's profit. Do you want people to be harmonious sports fans, or do you want them to be frustrated, angry, and broke sports fans? Because we want to be sports fans either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you want us angry or do you want us harmonious? And I would say harmonious is what you would go for. Because did you see these people in New York City? Do you see these people? These people will tear New York City down when they win. But it's out of love. Out of love.
Are you not going to order these at when we win?
Win. We win.
She said what she said.
It's gonna happen, guys. And so the point is this. League Pass could have charged me like $5 today just to watch the game the next day. I understand. You want to block it out when it's live, but y'all can still get your money from people like me who don't want to pay you monthly or yearly, but just want to watch the game. And so I say to you, League Pass, WNBA, NBA, get it together. All right.
Your dad would be real proud. You sounded a whole lot like Bobby Seale over here.
Yeah. Fight the power. Power to the people. What are we all? Like I said, we used to be civilized. You used to be able to turn on TV, and now what are we doing?
A week ago, I told you the antenna. You laughed at me. Shout out to my girlfriend Connie, who got us an antenna at the house. I watched the game on the antenna last night. You know,
Wow.
But
you have League Pass.
I have League Pass because the game was blacked out because it was a live game for our team. Like, I don't really understand how they're like. See, I get that they're like, if it was a home game, and they're like, okay, we don't want everybody to stay at home when we come to the stadium. We're going to black it out. Like, I get that, but they're on the road. Like, I don't understand how it works, but you get a digital antenna connected to the TV. You're in there watching it. The total broadcast is weird.
Oh,
but you know.
But you was in there.
Be out here.
All right, I guess this is what we're doing. We are 40. So Portland Fire they brought the fire. I'll be honest. This was not an easy game to win.
No.
They were the defense and the offense, I'll just say it, for both teams was fantastic. But Portland was really like not afraid to come up against these aces. They were out here. I'll say a few names: Carla Lake, Bridget Carlton. I mean, wow. Just giving them a little credit, okay? And that's a nice sarcasm.
The final score makes this game seem like the Aces are a lot more comfortable than they did. There are still in this game, especially in the first half. I think the number was they held the Aces to only 10 points in the paint in the first half of the game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And they ended the first quarter 28-27,
right,
with Portland up one. So
like Portland's out here to play. Like, I've watched a ton of Portland Fire games, so I'm watching the first half of this game, and it was reminding me the Portland Fire beat the New York Liberty twice this year.
Oh,
they played them 3 times. They beat them twice.
Okay.
And it was reminding me a lot of those games. The Portland Fire had the ability to take away the best thing that another team does. And they did that to the Aces in the first half last night. The Aces score, I think on the broadcast, they said 54% of the points or something in the paint. They held them to only 10 points in the first half in the paint. Chelsea Bray. Now, Chelsea Bray, we're going to talk about the atomic bomb that was the way she went off last night offensively.
Yes.
But you know what you didn't see a lot from Chelsea Bray last night? Assist. This is the point guard. She's getting people assists all over the place. She had 3 assists last night. Now, part of that was she had some break passes to players who ended up missing shots. That's not on her. It's but that happens in a game. And so she became more of a driver of the offense. And so she was really early that her 3-point shot was going to be falling. And so she hit 9 3-pointers.
Whoa. You guys.
9 3-pointers.
It was crazy. It was just like every time she put it up there, it went in. And it was actually beautiful to see. Like, it was beautiful to see Chelsea putting the points on the board like she always does. But I'm just saying, like, in this way.
Right. And so one of the things I think is amazing about this game, and this is like, you know, we've got a segment coming up called Queen of the Court. We could give Queen of the Court to Asia Wilson every single.
We could do that. Right.
Asia Wilson had more points than Chelsea Gray, and Chelsea Gray get 9 pointers.
Right.
Asia just goes out there, supposed to work. And so ultimately it ended up being okay. You got a lot of production. You got 18 points from Daffy Young, 12 points from Melissa Smith, 12 and 10, another double there from Melissa Smith. 8 points from Stephanie Calvert. Stephanie Calvert had 10 rebounds.
Yes, she was. She was out
10
there.
rebounds. Really contributed. But back to my hobby horse for today, he had 6 bench points. We got 4 points from Cheyenne Parker Caius, and we got 2 points from Jewel Lloyd. Jewel Lloyd, once again, played 25 minutes. She only had 10 points. And so this is not me picking on Jewel.
Yeah.
She's coming back from an injury. She's the gold mamba. We all know what Jewel.
Is that her name?
Huh?
Is that what they call her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's the gold mamba. Like, we know what she can do. I'm not worried about her being like long term. I think that when it's time to hit big shots, you know what she'll hit. What I'm saying is that tomorrow night they play the Minnesota Lynx. If you get 6 points off the bench and you beat the Minnesota Lynx, I would be shocked.
Yeah, because how many points off the bench are they averaging? Do you know?
They have players over there that are just like Olivia Miles. We'll talk about this, and we'll start talking about the games coming up in the next week. We've talked about this. We've talked about Olivia Miles. So, let's say this game from last night. The thing that I saw from the Portland Fire that I think is really interesting to be seeing, talking about another former ace coming back, Ben Gustafson, 17 points.
She was hearing.
That's a big game, and she was not afraid to try to play defense on her whole team area.
Her whole team.
This is
a lot of time on the court for her, though.
Right.
On this team.
Yeah.
She's actually out there able to be making these actual 17 points, as opposed to when she was here, was here and there.
Yeah, we talked about that with Kia Stokes. Yeah. If you play the kind of Asia Wilson, you got to have Asia Wilson on the court. And so, this Portland Fire team, they're feisty. They are ready to play, and like I say, they do a big job from what I've seen in their game against the Liberty, where I saw last night. Some of the other games, they do a good job of taking away your best day. And the other game that they were doing last night, particularly in the second half, they're full court pressing. You got to pick the ball when you got to pick the ball across half court. And so even somebody as talented and smooth as Chelsea Gray, getting the ball, they're trapping, you got to pass the ball and get it over, trying to force it to these 8-second violations. And so they ultimately came up short. They ultimately ended up losing by 16. But this Portland Fire team is a team that I think that people should keep an eye on. They are going to they're going to be in a lot more games than you would expect them to be in. For Commissioner's Cup purposes, they're already eliminated. They've lost all 4 of their Commissioner Cup games. And so they're not wrong with Commissioner's Cup. But when you go back to the full standings, they're only two places out of the playoff picture right now. And so the Sparks are the only team ahead of them, and the Sparks are the one team between them and 8th place, which is Toronto Kempo. And so these are all teams that are having their own set of struggles. Portland Fire could get in there.
Okay, see, now I'm gonna talk about this thing that happened in the second quarter. All right, there was a call. What happened? And Alyssa Smith went up for, she was just
for a shot.
She was just playing basketball. And she need one of the players, number 21, Engstler. And they both got fouled. But Nalissa's got upgraded to flagrant because of the knee. Now, I'm sorry now. I ain't no ball player. I'm not out here. But I'm pretty sure you gotta use your knees to get up there, to get in the air. What do you think about this? Was it a good call? Bad call?
That was a terrible call.
This is going to be on my bad beat.
This is your bad beat?
This is it.
Okay. So, one, I don't know. I don't get that call, not even a little bit.
And they said it was unique and strange anyway. It was this never happens. So, yeah.
Right. So, I don't know how they could make that call. That's a natural basketball motion. Upgrading it to a flagrant is crazy, especially look at your screen. I just sent you the old WNBA logo. They're on their 3rd logo now, but if you look at their 2nd logo, doesn't that person look exactly like how Melissa Smith looked going after this shot?
Look at exactly. The knee is there.
It used to be the logo, and now that's a foul. That's
Okay, that's a fantastic argument. That's crazy, counselor. That is fantastic. Yeah, exactly. I literally was like, I mean, it just seemed like it was a
it was
accidental,
like
like they ran into each other.
yeah, she rotated trying to play defense. She was already going up. There wasn't anything malicious there. I think that I watched a bunch of games this week, and the amount of time we're spending with the officials going over and reviewing things, like, yeah, we all want to get
That part.
but the disjointed nature of how these games are coming out because of all this is crazy. And then I was watching the Toronto Tempo play the Connecticut Sun, and the announcer was like, "Oh, this is the first time they're going over to review something, and it's all the game's almost over." Like there was like four.
That was the first time?
There was like 4 minutes left in the game, and it was like the first time they were going to review something. But then guess what happened? They had 4 more reviews in the next 3 minutes. And so just like, yeah, we want to get it right. No, like these, we got to get it figured out. This definitely needs to.
You know, there's a lot of officiating conspiracies going on in the NBA and the WNBA, and I'm just tired of it. Okay. Why can't we just have, non-biased people with eyes and ears that just call the balls and the strikes? I don't know what's going on in baseball. Maybe maybe this is an umpire issue too. But
you wait.
I don't get it.
You know the AI thing that Adam Silver's talking about, calling out of bounds, all that stuff coming. We got AI something to it.
I don't know. Well, how about the accuracy? Can we get some accuracy on the AI?
I haven't seen the data.
This could be something that's worth, AI doing. Because at the same, you know what? Don't get me started. I feel bad. I don't want to call people old. I don't want to call their eyes old. I don't want to say that their knees and their, like they're not quite seeing what they should. I don't want to say that.
Are you going to Clooney Brothers? Is that what it's about? You can tell me.
And no comments. I'm just saying, get some young men out there and women. I'm just saying, like, I feel like young eyes is probably the name of the game of refereeing.
As a 40-year-old, I'm gonna sit this one out.
All right, that's fine. So continuing, Kennedy, so she got in for a minute. She is coming off of this hip injury. I was happy to see her in there, but she wasn't in there doing a whole lot of good. Okay, the shots weren't going in, and then it was back to the bench. I think she came out like one other time, maybe like the third or fourth quarter, but yeah, I'm not sure she scored. Did she score at all?
No, I think the only points off the bench for Jewel and Shine Parker Tyus for this game.
Yeah, Parker Tyus, she was having she was playing a lot of defense. She was getting some rebounds, right? She's not injured, but
no,
she, I think she's like coming back into the game.
And I think that the coaches out there picking the people to come off the bench who they think are going to have the biggest impact, and also get the most relief for the people in the starting lineup. So we've been talking a bunch about Melissa Smith and how impressive she's been over like the last few games. But last night she was in kind of a little bit of foul. She had 4 fouls. And so the period of time where like it made sense for her ability with it and get Cheyenne in there. And hopefully Melissa doesn't like pick up any like fouls or nothing that's out of control during that period of time. So.
Right. Asia hit all her free throws, by the way, which she usually does, but fourth quarter she didn't hit them all. Just talking about the other team real quick. Sarah Ashley Barker was scoring over Asia and Jackie. She's a beast. I'm just gonna say it. She was very good. I enjoyed watching her play. Like she's
a fun player.
Yeah.
She reminds me about Tiffany Hayes, who just in the A's now in the Valkyries. She's a second-year player out of it's Alabama. But she's like really fiery, and I think the reason she reminds me of Tiffany Hayes is because somehow, some way, these players always end up playing on the ground. So the play ends and you've been knocked on the ground. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, they were on the ground a lot. You're right.
I don't get how that happened, but you probably end up on the ground and made a layup. So
it's okay.
she had a good game against the Aces. I think she's averaging 10 points a game this season. So yeah,
Same with the Ice I can't. She's a New Yorker. I can't pronounce her name, but she was playing really well. O'Black was playing very efficiently against our aces. So again, like you were saying, like this was not, or maybe like I was saying, this was not an easy team to beat. Yeah, they were playing very well. They're a very well scoring team generally, but we got in there. So what can we do other than win? Now, in the fourth quarter, sorry, by the end of the third quarter, they were only 6 points apart. So we went into the fourth or the third quarter, you know, doing okay. Smith with the assists, she had some jumpers, she had some rebounds. Asia, she was keeping her rebounds and her free throws. She was getting fouled a lot. And I know that's how it goes normally, but she was getting a lot of fouls. Like it was almost like every other play, to be honest.
A lot.
Yeah. Like for real. Carla Late, I have written down, was scoring early, still going very hard on the defense. But Cortland, I mean, they fell 70-54 at one point. Like it was I don't know what happened. It just completely switched, and the aces just came through, and Kennedy was back in, fouls, air balls, sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Becky called the timeout at one point because the Fire was starting to make a comeback. And I think that Becky recognized that it was time to let's have a conversation about this. I don't know if because of the broadcast that we were on, I don't know if she actually had a conversation. Sometimes when you're at the game, you'll see Becky call a timeout. She just walks over to sit under the free throw line.
Right.
And lets the players stop by themselves. But really wanted to stop that before this became something silly like what happened to the Spurs. Right. Where you're up big and you're not able to hold on to close the game. And so a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, we talked about a lot of these second half collapses where you see they're playing really well in this Commissioner Cup play. This also leads to one of my things that I love about the Commissioner's Cup. So the Commissioner's Cup, if two teams end up with a tiebreaker, the tiebreaker is actually point differential. Oh. And so you see teams trying to run up. They're not running out the clock. They're going and trying to get another basket. Oh. Okay, because if you score more points, you have the point differential. So, even for example, we talk about them playing the Lynx tomorrow. Both teams go 4-0 right now going into that game in Commissioner Cup play. Okay. Whoever wins is going to have the leg up. But if they end up with a tied record, the Minnesota Lynx point differential is plus 81. The Aces is plus 40. Whoa. And so the Lynx are out here blowing people out. They're collecting all these points. And so,
okay, I'll see.
I think that's probably another thing that's also in Becky's mind, which is we can't lose this 15-point lead. We have to be able to try to keep pace.
Gotcha.
In that area.
Okay, that makes sense. So then they closed out the third quarter, 78-72, still up 6 for the Aces, and then it was a lot of offense from Portland in the fourth. Barker and Late combo, the side of Carlton. It was crazy. It was crazy. Jackie's offense, 13 double-doubles. Talbot did miss her free throws, but she did get 2 3-pointers. Yeah. So that was huge. That was great. Beautiful. Gray tied career high of 9. No, she tied her own record and then she beat her own record. That's what happened. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. 9 3-point plays. Yeah. Wow. Huge.
From downtown.
Wow. And she got pretty confident. It wasn't they were not guarding her. Yeah. You know what I mean? She was wide open. Most of those 3-pointers were
you see people
nice and easy.
You see people make the shot. They throw another one out there. They want to do the heat check, see if they're really on fire. And most of the time they're not really on fire.
Right.
Chelsea Ray is on fire. She was against the fire.
And she beat her own record. I love it. And The Queen's New Yorker Inkstler. I'm gonna get better. She blocks. I put TS out of Asia, so she blocked the hell out of her.
The funniest part about that whole play was Asia getting up off the ground with this crazy look on her face, like that. That's what I do to people. You don't do that to like what?
And then Asia turned around. Asia turned around and gave herself a. They called it a me bound. She went in there and she got her own rebound and got it back in. But then she did miss the free pointer, the and one. But what a game! I mean, 105-89. You're right. That's not how that game went at all, but it ended like that.
Yeah, good game. Way more nervous. I was cleaning the whole time. That I wish that I keep watching these games and seeing these blowouts. If you look at the WNBA scoreboard from yesterday, you saw a lot of games like the Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game was close. That one went into overtime. But the Liberty won by 14. The Wings won by 15. And so as this game was going on, it was feeling pretty close the whole time. I was like, why can't we get one of those? We ultimately did.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that way the whole time.
It did not.
I was like, please.
Don't break the streak.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said, easy peasy, right? Easy breezy, beautiful. These women, they got it. Now, next game, you good, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
We feel good. We're gonna. So wait, okay. So if it's in the next game. If we win, do we switch? Are we number one then?
Yeah, we were number one in the Western Conference of the Commissioner Cup standings. So now you're asking about, are we number one in the overall standings, or like?
Well, what number are we?
In the overall standings, we're number 2.
Okay.
The Lynx are 10-2, and the Aces are 9-3.
There you go.
And so if we were to win the next game, we would have the same record as them, but we'd have the tiebreaker, the head-to-head, and the regular standings. In the Commissioner Cup standings, that would put the Lynx at 4-1 and us at 5-0, assuming a win. And so then we would be ahead in those standings.
Okay. You guys get all that? Listen, it's confusing, maybe, but at the end of the day, it's all gonna make sense. And we're learning. I'm learning a lot from Cousin, from the WNBA, from League Pass. I'm just learning all kinds of stuff. So let's get to these board. I don't know what you call these. What do you call these? These
I don't know what you're talking about.
These categories like Queen of the Court. Okay, let's get to these segments. Boom. Okay, so we're each gonna have our own. Okay, we don't have to. It doesn't have to be the same, but if you want it to be. So Queen of the Court. Who's your queen this week?
It's gonna be hard for me not to say Chelsea Gray today. Obviously, this is a Santa category we give to Asia basically every game, every week. But I'm gonna go with Chelsea Gray. Chelsea this week. I didn't sketch out her numbers, but 12 points against the Valkyries. What did she have? She had 12 points against the Storm, and then 29 points against the Fire. In the game against the Storm, she had 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Like, she's just contributing in every way that she can.
That's true.
And so I know it's hard when Age is putting up 34-point double, to not give it to her. But for this week, especially after breaking down record last night, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Chelsea.
Okay, I agree. So Chelsea, you are the Queen of the Court on the Aces full of queens. Okay, and now Pocket Aces. Now, Pocket Aces is what? I would say we have it down as the biggest win of the week. Pocket Aces. So, what would you say is the biggest win of the week?
I think the biggest win of the week has to go back to the Valkyries game.
Okay.
It's a big win at home. It's a big defensive team. A team that, as of today, is in playoff contention in the Golden State Valkyries. Beating the Storm, they're 3-11 today. They're second to last, second to worst record in the WNBA. Beating the Fire, they're a scrappy team. They played us really hard. They're good at taking away what you do best. They're still outside of the playoff picture. So I think our biggest win of the week is going to be the win at home against the Operates. You go 3-0 this week, leading up to the big heavyweight match against the Lynx this weekend.
Okay, fair. I'm gonna say the biggest win of the week. I'm gonna give it to Asia for those 6,000 points because you know what, that couldn't have been easy, and I imagine every time it happens, every 1,000, she's like, "Oh man," but also she's like, "Duh, I did that." So I'm gonna give it to Miss Asia Wilson with 6,000 career points.
There we go.
Bad beat. Okay, I already said my bad beat.
What was it?
It was the double foul call
Okay.
that was upgraded to a flagrant against our player, Noah Smith.
Yeah.
Rude. And everybody was completely like, what? Why? That, and just like you said, that is the motion. And that used to be the logo. So how you gonna call that? How you gonna call that flagrant?
I don't even know.
Dirty Diner. Fire.
Bad beat of the week. Let's see. The Aces bench play.
Right. Oh yeah, that's your bad beat. That's your bad beat.
We got to get more production from there.
That is totally fair. And next hand. So the next hand.
So that's what we got coming out, right?
Yes, preview of the upcoming games.
All right. So we got Minnesota on Saturday at home. So that's at the house at Dallas. So last time they were at Dallas, they lost to Dallas. So that's on Monday night.
Okay.
And then at Phoenix. And so they've only played Phoenix at one time on opening day.
Oh.
So they had blown out opening day by Phoenix. And so this is going back down to Phoenix. So those are the next 3 games. And so we can get into those a little bit.
Any banner raisings, any celebrations of any kind?
You got stuff.
Because I don't like it, y'all. You know what I was thinking? If you're gonna have a banner or a celebration of some kind and you're gonna have a game, how about that game just doesn't count that day? How about that's just like a nice throwaway game? It's for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. It's nobody wins, nobody loses. Or maybe somebody wins and loses, but it doesn't count towards.
So you're saying do this like do the banner raising and the ring ceremony like a preseason game.
There you go.
Doesn't count. I'm not opposed to that. I think the other thing you do is you could do it like an hour before the game. Like, let the fans know we're gonna put the banner up. We're gonna like break the rings out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to show up early to celebrate with us. Then y'all chill, go get the concession stands, get a beer, and let the players like come down for that and like go into like actual like game mode. But like we were there at the opening day game. They got these big fun at like, what's the Drake song? Really big raise.
A Drake song? Oh God.
So like they get these things and then it's like, okay, cool. 10 minutes later it's step time. Let's
go be humble. No, saying you can't.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I'll go with that. Even better. How about we pre-record the whole thing?
They want to celebrate with the fans.
I'm saying you show the video to the fans, bring out the stuff, but they already did it. In their own mind, they've already done it. Yeah. So they've already had that time. Yeah. They don't even have to go.
But like they're going through the whole thing. They don't get to go in awe of the crowd when they're like looking at they want to.
Come on. We'll figure it out.
I think yours of the preseason game is probably the move.
Okay, it's
a preseason game. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't count. We get to go through all of our emotions and stuff like that. That's probably the
give it to the fans. I'm with that.
Okay. So coming up, Minnesota Lynx Saturday night in Vegas. Going back to the grades that ESPN gave teams over the first month, Minnesota Lynx at A+. The first people was they're making this happen with Nafisa Collier sitting on the bench. Olivia Miles.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Miles is about to be a rookie of the year. I'm calling it today.
Okay.
I don't
predictions.
I don't think that's a bold prediction.
Oh, okay.
You're Olivia Miles is a rookie of the year. You're like, okay. No, she's gonna be the rookie.
What about
Izzy Foot?
Izzy Foot.
Izzy Foot's having a good season, but I think that I'm not trying to get to the whole AZ, 1 versus 2 thing.
Okay.
Proud of an undertake that she's starting. She's playing extremely well. She had 28 points, hit like 5 3-pointers in a game the other day.
Wow.
She got that. She got her like afro stuff like that. She's silky smooth. Like she reminds you of like somebody playing in like the ADA. She should be out there playing Dapper J or something.
Wow.
So I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we got coming up. I think that's going to tell us a lot about this tape. They've got Courtney Williams, whose mid-range game is out of control. Kayla McBride is coming off the bench. They've got Nia Coffey playing well. They've got Natasha Howard playing well. Like this is a team that like I don't know how they've had better considering the players that they lost. Like you talked about with Carlton, she split us another place last year. They lost some of the expansion draft.
That's not hard loss.
It's next long enough, and so they're ready to go there. So that's on what did I say? That's on Saturday.
Okay, so this is a heavy matchup.
Yeah. On Monday, about the guys wings and the ESPN Braves, they got an A-. And so they got Alana Smith and Jessica Shepard from the Blitz last year, who are now down in Deathless.
Okay.
And they're doing good things down there. And so we'll see AZ Fudd. Her last game against the Aces was her first start. She came up extremely well.
Very well.
Paige, Arike, they just got a team of players that are doing really, really well.
Yeah.
And so this is a stretch of games where like the Aces are really gonna have to be ready. And I think that's why this production is something that I'm really looking at because we know that we can trust Asia, Chelsea, and Jackie, but we think about a couple weeks ago, Jackie had a game when she was obviously going through stuff, right? But she had like 2 games where she can score 8 points. Right. And so if that happens, what are the Aces able to do in this stretch of games? Okay. And then they wrap that up with going to play against the Mercury in Phoenix. And so on the ESPN grades, the Mercury are bigger than that. The Mercury are not playing well.
Still.
They this season is going to get away from them sooner rather than later. They've got 4 wins, 10 losses. They are on a on 2-game losing streak. They are 1 loss away basically from being eliminated in Commissioner Cup play. And so things are not looking great down there. And it's surprising because they still have Kalia Cabo. They still got Alyssa Thomas. They've got Dewana Bonner.
So how are they playing? Have you been watching them? Or are they just not
I haven't watched
in sync?
I haven't watched the play this year. I think that they've had some late players come in for international players and who are playing overseas, and now on the lives. Definitely, Dave Tibbetts has made some interesting calls. They got this rookie who had been playing over in Europe. She came over. She lit us up in the opening game.
Right.
Nokic. And so she was starting, and now she didn't move to the bench. I don't know what's going on there. I don't follow them closely enough to make a informed call. If that is, but all that to say, they're 4-10. The Aces have to handle business, and so I think if the Aces come out of this stretch of 3 games, 3-0, they're going to be in pole position in the Commissioner's Cup to play in that final. That could be an extra vein that we go into here because the Commissioner Cup final is played at the team with the best record.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And so that could be a position where they're playing that here in Vegas.
Okay.
But they got to win these games. And so we'll see what things look like. Saturday, Monday, Wednesday.
Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, guys. And, we're going to do our best to just be the informant after the fact, Anthony's going to the World Cup.
That's right.
Shout out to the World Cup. Shout out to who are you going to see?
On Monday, seeing Belgium and Egypt in Seattle.
Whoa, okay.
On Tuesday, seeing Jordan in Austria in San Francisco. So,
hey,
gotta go watch the soccer. It's that time.
It's that time. I really feel like we're in the middle of some kind of weird, crazy sports eclipse, hurricane of some kind. I think we're doing the best ever. This is the best NBA final series, the energy around it. And then the Golden Knights are doing some crazy stuff or is it just the hockey in general?
Go Knights, go.
Go Knights, go.
So they lost last night. Kind of heartbroken. They're down 3-2. But it's not over yet, you know. And so who's going to look this up real quick? One of the funniest things. So before they lost last night, there was somebody talked to the Knights coach, John Todorov, and they asked him about watching Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and he said, "I wanted to go to bed." But when they cut it down to 15, I knew something stupid was going to happen. It's basically the same stupid stuff that's happened in our series. And
okay.
both series crazy like this. Like I was in the Knights game, the game 3 of the Knights game too. It went to 2 overtimes. It's like,
oh my gosh,
crazy. Like my nerves were like, so I keep making the joke that if my girlfriend is still dating, they come mid-July, she truly loves me because I'm watching hockey, I'm watching basketball, AEA, WNBA, soccer. Like she don't throw a TV on.
Look, I'll be honest with you. On my dating profile, it says if you don't like sports, swipe left. Because it's not even that I'm a crazy sports fan, but I'm gonna be watching because I have FOMO, and I like to know what's going on.
To be real though, like Connie's at these WNBA games.
She loves it. She's out there. She would be out there playing if she could.
Lead the cheers of "Ref, you suck" with the bad calls.
Yeah, that's her. It's her.
You was in the zone when you that called in Lisa Smith today.
Oh my god! Right. Like, we love you, Connie.
We did.
Connie's gonna come on here one day, and we're gonna get her hot take.
We gotta get a different place to record. Her taking a lot, they'll burn this building.
Ooh, you know what? We like that. We like them hot, like fire. So, Connie, bring your ass over here. And all of you, stay tuned, stay with us, subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever.
Do all the things.
Do all the things, guys, and
Don't
tell your friends.
Don't believe Crystal's social media when it looks like she's at the game. She might have just been putting basketball.
Always. And no, I'm just kidding, guys. Listen, there's lots of sports to be watched. So do you, but it always comes back to the Aces. All right, guys. Knicks in 5. And go Knights, go.
Let's go.
And we'll see you next time. All right.